the women's Māori side, they are the reigning champions. Will they continue that dominance here this evening, or will the Indigenous side get their revenge? To find out, it is over to Peter Saltis in the commentary box.
Thank you very much for that, Danica. Well, a celebration of two wonderful cultures this evening and a showcase of some magnificent rugby league talent on display. We're just 2 weeks away from the NRLW season getting underway, and today we'll get a taste of things to come as the Māori team about to make their way out onto CommBank Stadium. Just across both of the teams today, there's some names that are familiar to you, the likes of Ronna Peters, Corbin Baxter, Zahara Tamara, Shania Power and Tamika Upton, but keep a look out today for the new brigade, the next generation of NRLW stars like 18-year-old Tiana Raffstrand-Smith lining up in the centres for the Māori All-Stars. And we're about to have come onto the fields the Indigenous team looking to seek revenge after defeat in Townsville last year. Māori winning that game 24 points to nil. Māori leads the head-to-head 2-1. This is the fourth clash between the two teams as the Indigenous team making their way out onto CommBank Stadium. Alana Ferguson and Ruan Sims in commentary with me. And Alana, this is a special moment for all these girls now.
Oh, absolutely it is, Salty. And I just spent a bit of time in both of their dressing rooms before they came out here. They were very calm, but just looked like an excited bunch of players ready to get out on the footy field.
Great opportunity too for some of these younger players, as I mentioned, to really make a name for themselves on the big stage, particularly too with 2 weeks to go until the NRLW season starts. So let's go down, first of all, for the haka. Outstanding there from the Māori team. And now we've got the Indigenous Unity Dance. Well, that was brilliant from both teams, both the Māori All-Stars and the Indigenous All-Stars. Oh, really gets the blood pumping, doesn't it, Roo?
It certainly does. And what I love about that is we're celebrating two cultures that are so prominent within the NRL itself. And we see the pride and the passion that these players come here with. We see what this week means to them. We see what this game means to them. And we are going to see them in action very, very shortly. And I can guarantee you the emotion that they have out there participating in and watching each other challenge and dance in that fashion is going to come out with the very first hit up, which is always my favourite. Every game, the first hit up.
We know you love that, that's for sure. Alana, we talk about the experienced players here. There were a few teenagers we're going to be seeing this afternoon as well. So stage is set for a big one for whether those experiencing their fourth All-Stars game and those on debut.
Yeah, we've got plenty of women on debut, but also just a great opportunity to be playing in Sydney. They haven't been here for the last few years, so they've got different friends and family here in to support them and heading in towards the NRLW as well. It's a great opportunity for all the women out there, but particularly to be playing for their culture and for their people. We'll get to see right now just how much that means to them.
And I think we're really looking forward to it as well, Fergo, because this is the first football we've seen the girls play in almost 7 months.
Hold on, I'll wait for them to get
Exactly.
set.
The excitement's, we're here, we're ready to go. Thank goodness.
We're on, Salty, we're on.
Certainly are. The stage is now set. Rugby League returning to your screens on the home of Rugby League and the best live sport. Nines wide, Wilder Sports. Great to have Rugby League back. All-Stars, 2 games today. Then before you know it, into the NRLW and the NRL as well. So Maori with the first use of the football. Good defence there from Keely Joseph from the Indigenous team. We'll be looking to really aim up. As we mentioned last year, it was Maori who won 24 points to 0. And they lead the head-to-head 2-1. So a chance for the Indigenous team to square the ledger this afternoon. And a very good opening set of 6 here for the Maori All-Stars. Here's Zahara Tamara, experienced campaigner these days, puts up a kick. Tamika Upton, her first touch in All-Stars Rugby League, a star of NRLW.
Particularly in that first set of 6 defensively, Keely Joseph was getting through a ton of work, and the Māori really need to be careful. If they're going to kick the ball to Tamika Upton like that, she catches it on the full, she can be dangerous.
Always looking for an opening is Tamika Upton. 4 15-minute quarters this evening for this women's All-Stars clash. That's an outstanding run there from co-captain Caitlin Johnston.
Second effort.
And a penalty. She's earned her team a penalty here as well. Good start for the Indigenous side.
This is a great start, and Caitlin Johnson from the get-go showing that captaincy means a lot to her. She called for the ball, put her head down. They were going nowhere because the Māori defence was really muscling up on them. But now, getting the ball 25 metres out, what do you reckon they can come up with, Fergo?
Well, it'll be interesting because all the footy so far has been in that middle third. So now that they're starting with this great field position, they'll still want to get a little bit of momentum. But I dare say we'll see them use a little bit of the width of the field this set.
All right, go.
Perfect field position here for the Indigenous team. Plenty of pace in this side. Just looking at Tamika Upton lurking out the back. She's scheming. Quincy Dodd takes a couple of steps. Now goes to Johnston. 4 of them in there on Caitlin Johnston. 11 metres away from the line. Dodd now. Through the hands it goes. Beautiful short ball. And that's Shaylee Bent, who's going to be stopped just a couple of metres away from the line. Dodd now to dummy half. Dummies goes herself. The defence were awake to it. Olivia Koenig, one of the defenders in there. Tamika Upton to dummy half. Held up the pass well.
Salty, if they can get that ball to the right, they are 2 over on that far right-hand side.
Big numbers. Got over the line there and held up is the call. So they'll come back to the 10-metre line, but still with the numbers out to the right. And they're going to go that way. No surprise. Tillett. Ricochet. Oh, couldn't hang on to it. And Vete Welsh will get it for the Maori All-Stars. They'll play the knock-on, bringing it out to the 10. Good defence in the end from Maori.
Great pressure from the Maori women, but also great vision from Tillett. She's been one that I've been really looking forward to seeing how she goes on debut in that number 7 jersey. You can see the vision from Tillett already is brilliant. And you can just see it ticking over. There's so many opportunities out there. She took the right one. I'm guessing it'll pay off the next couple of times.
Square up, Zara. Square up. All right, clock off, feed it.
There's no doubt the Maori side will get confidence through their defence. Really is an interesting matchup when you have a look across the park, and particularly you mentioned the halves there and Tillett and Dibb for the Indigenous side, and Zahara Tamara and Racine McGregor. They'll enjoy playing together, the halves for the Maori team.
Oh no, you're on top of her. Go, 3. Kira.
Zahara Tamara, throughout her career, she's now settled in the halves. She played a bit in the back row. We'd seen her in the centres. There's some good defence. But she's settled now as a number 7.
Absolutely, and we got her on the circuit nice and early for the Jillaroos as we see the Māori make a few nice metres off the ruck. And she was playing in that half position and she absolutely dominated. Through some injury and time out, she wasn't quite able to do it, but here she goes now.
Fires a pass out wide on the bounce. Autumn Rain Stevens. 5 short of the halfway line. It is the last. And that's well taken by Jamie Chapman. Trying to get around the chasers. Good chase, though, in the end.
Got away with me. Got away. Go.
Well, she's another one you don't want to be kicking the ball to on the full too often. She is lightning when she gets moving. Olive Oil, she is fast.
Go, 2.
Jamie Chapman, her second All-Stars appearance. Playing for the Dragons in NRLW.
Hold here. On the left. Got to hold. Go. 3.
Jamie Soward coached Dragons in NRLW. There's Caitlin Johnston. Another strong run. Ronna Peters was in there with the tackle. Tried to put a shot on, but couldn't. That's saying something. Shaylee Bent. 25 away from the Maori line. Dodd. Kick from Dibb. Across field, they'll get a play at it, and it will go into touch. So,
where do you want to play
Maori
the ball?
with the ball.
20 in. Play the ball there.
I've been asked a few questions, but they've answered them so far in defence, the Maori team.
They certainly have. They're just a bit of a miss kick there by Kira Dibb. Came off the outside of her foot, and you know, the Indigenous tried to make a play at it to try and force the Māori into playing at the ball as well, but they were wise to it. They weren't going to fall for that one.
Repeating, it is 4 15-minute quarters. The Women's All-Stars, extended bench, all the players can be used. And into Indigenous half they go now. Playing with plenty of energy in this set, looking to up the ante. That was a good run from Rafstrand Smith. And here's Nita Maynard, another one of the experienced campaigners. We'll have to watch her in and around the ruck. Zahara Tamara showing it, trying to go now. It should be wrapped up 20 metres away from the line. Last play here for the Māori All-Stars. McGregor puts it high. And that is a good take. Under pressure. That's a magnificent take from Chapman, doing very well.
Very safe under the high ball, and you can see the kicker's body's just turning that little bit away from Tamika Upton, making sure that the footy doesn't go to her. But you said it before, Rue, they could get a rude shock from Jamie Chapman if they give her any.
Oh! Ronna Peters! Rattling in the lounge chairs at home.
Oh, imagine running into that. Shannon Matto down low, Ronna Peters up high. No thanks.
You both happy to be retired?
Well, if you're saying no,
100%.
I'm a definite no.
Arms out, last tackle.
Oh.
That defensive set from the Māori women was incredible. They didn't get over their 40-metre line there, but a great clearing kick too.
Here's Vete Welsh. Dangerous player as well. There's plenty of game breakers on either side of the field. I think everyone in the stadium's got sore ribs after that last hit. Here goes Zahara Tamara trying to put on a fend. A good defence though in the ends.
I don't mind that from Zahara Tamara. We've seen her run the footy a few times now. She's got a great passing game as well, but just to be that running threat first means that when the passing option is on and she throws it, they won't know what she's going to do. Very clever from the ball player.
Well, just off centre field and 12 metres away from the line on the last. Will they go to the air or through the hands? Here's McGregor, puts it along the ground. Chapman's got it. Could have been a tricky one there. She did well after the ricochet. Still waiting for our first points after 9 minutes of play, but the defence has been willing, including there, and they forced a mistake. Oh, it'll be a penalty.
You can't continue to push her after the held court. If you've lifted her, you can't continue to push her after the held court.
Well, there you go. She obviously called held. They continued on with the tackle. She tried to offload, and that's where the penalties come from. And the Indigenous team, they'll definitely be glad for this penalty because they'd had a really good set defensively themselves, but then the Māori really started to muscle up right then and pushing them backwards. This is a really good settler. Let them catch their breath and really set up for something maybe on that far right side.
So the Indigenous team with the tap after finding touch from the penalty. Oh, another solid hit. That was Racine McGregor.
Bring it to me. Nina, you've got to wait. Wait.
Corbin Baxter in the tackle as well. They're forcing the pass. And Māori have got it. So a loose ball, panicking there. I mean, the defence causing that error. Here's Cherrington. 12 away from the line. The Māori team looking good for the first points of the afternoon. Maynard goes to Tamara. Now Vete Welsh. Through the hands they go and almost getting to the line is Rafstrand Smith. And has lost it. So the youngster getting so close to the line, but the mistake came in the end.
Yeah, they got let off the hook a little bit there, I think, the Indigenous women with that last little effort. But we've seen a couple of errors under fatigue now. They both sides just need to take a deep breath, reset, trust their teammates and their game plan because there are plenty of opportunities out there. But this is a good chance for all of them to just reset and start fresh.
I tell you what, referee Casey Badger is on the spot. She was right on top of that. She's made every call correctly so far. It's making for a really entertaining game of football. We've seen some big hits. Now we just want to see that ball shifting edge to edge.
Just think with young Tiana Rafstrand Smith there, 18 years of age, you would be reaching out, wouldn't you, trying to get the ball down?
Oh, she'll learn, though. She'll learn from that, and she won't do that again, that's for sure.
She's an outstanding young player, going to be playing for the Titans in NRLW. Don't forget, too, the men's All-Star match is not far away. The Indigenous All-Stars take on Māori All-Stars live on 9. Kickoff is at 7:30 for the Southern Eastern States. Check your local guides elsewhere. Great night of action on 9. 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. 4 15-minute quarters. Kick there from Tillett. Vete Welsh underneath it. Caitlin Johnson was called offside. She didn't get back the full 10 metres. Couldn't resist putting a hit on.
Can't go quick
And a
on
penalty here for Māori.
In the scheme of things, when it comes to penalties, I'm okay to give that one away. If you've got someone like Vete Welsh catching the ball with 20 metres of space around her and you're a couple of metres offside, I don't mind if you play at that. As we see them tap and go through the middle of the field, the Māori girls.
Strong charge there from Shannon Marto.
Another step, Caitlin. Caitlin, another step. Thank you. Good.
10 short of halfway. Here's Ronna Peters passing this time.
Release her now. All the way.
You talk a lot about Ronna Peters' defence, but she's a very skillful player. Beautiful short passing game, and I thought that pass might have been forward, and it's been called that way, so lack of communication there.
Where do you want the scrum?
This will be a scrum feed for the Indigenous side.
We've got about 1:40 before they have their first quarter break here, and this is a really good opportunity now for the Indigenous girls to build into either getting themselves into a really good position or getting a try off the back of it, because they've absorbed a lot of pressure. They've had a lot of defensive pressure put on them, and now, right on halfway, midfield scrum, the opportunity to stretch the wings.
Kira Dibb to feed the scrum. They take it out the back of the scrum. Dodd. Now here's a kick from Tillett. And coming out after it is Tamika Upton. Vete Welsh is there. Takes it well, sliding in the wet conditions. The set play, and it almost came off.
How good is it seeing Tamika Upton in a little bit of space? I'm sweating watching it. That was just brilliant. It was very close. Again, crafty from Tillett. Great idea and very, very close to executing that one. Exciting to say the least.
Tell you what, another 3 or 4 metres deeper that kick, and it would have been really interesting. Tamika Upton, boy, he's got some pace. On the halfway line now, the Māori All-Stars. Here's Shannon Marto. Good defence down low there from Quincy Dodd. Loose pass. Zahara Tamara, can she get rid of it? No, she can't. It'll be a changeover because it was the last.
Just a miscommunication there from the half. Z was sort of tucked in behind for that deep pocket pass, and it just went out in front to the I think it was a centre actually. So caught with them again. Another opportunity for the Indigenous. 3 seconds before they have a break.
Yeah, this will be the last play of the quarter. The siren sounds, and it is quarter time. No score between the Māori and the Indigenous All-Stars.
Girls, listen up from coach, all right? Defensively, massive wraps on her kick pressure, okay? It's going really well. So everyone from marker is just pushing up. Massive wraps on that. In attack, girls, just set a little bit deeper. Get off the ball, okay? And for our big girls, we're going to get jammed if we keep doing those wedge lines. You have to earn the right. So you have to earn the right. No passing, running game, okay? Especially in this weather.
Defensively, too, girls, unbelievable, yeah? So make sure.
Yeah, that was terrific. Great insight. There, the mic in the Indigenous All-Stars huddle. Hannah, what did you make of the first 15 minutes?
Well, I don't think there was too much of a pattern set by either side. The Māori women certainly in the middle of the field are rolling over a little bit more, particularly when fatigue crept in. But the exciting thing from this Indigenous side for me is their points of attack. They're coming from both sides of the ruck with their ball players, Tamika from out the back, and then even Quincy Dodd in at hookers asking a couple of questions. So it's exciting to not know where they're going to strike from.
So Māori with the ball. Running in the same direction that they did in the first quarter. So they'll change ends at half-time. Ronna Peters reaching the centre of Combank Stadium. Strong defensively in the first 15 minutes. This is a very good set of 6. It's the last. And
time off. Take it back there. You're held. We've got time off as well.
Player down in back play.
Yeah.
I think it's Kira Simon. She took a bit of a hit there. Kennedy Cherrington running from the back fence. Had that ball right in front. She put her body in, tried to shut her down. We're going to see a replay here. Kennedy just drops everything into it. And I think there might be a little bit of a head clash there. I hope she's all right because she is an exciting young player as well.
Again, a lot of those meters made by the Maori women in that middle third, they're just so strong at getting that momentum and getting a roll on. But it does look like it is her head, Roo.
Yeah, and we heard Beck Young discussing through the Indigenous huddle that they had there that they need to earn that right to run that wedge. At the moment, the big girls for Indigenous really need to try and shut down the power game that the Māori team have, because if Nita Maynard gets the ball with that kind of space off a quick play the ball, it's going to be really, really difficult to flood that middle.
Well, for Kira Simon coming from the fields, and that really had only just come on as well. So coming on now for the Indigenous side is Janelle Williams.
Play the ball, not the whistle.
They'll have some defending to do here. Tamika Upton getting to that one on the full, looking to wind up, but that's a good tackle there from Corbin Baxter. The captain was onto it straight away, along with Olivia Koenig. Koenig's in there again with some strong defence. Driving defence. It's been the hallmark of this game so far. Both teams not giving an inch. As we're still searching for the first try of the game, but it's been a game so far that certainly hasn't been short of entertainment. There's a nice little short ball there from Tillett. Alana mentioned Tillett earlier on, and she's always busy scheming. Here she is again, the number 7. Back towards the centre of the ground they go. Last play here for the Indigenous side. No real pressure there on Daniels.
There might not have been initial pressure, but the opportunity here now, the Māori are a bit further away, so it's only the backs are in there getting the work done in the middle of the field. So this is an opportunity for the Indigenous girls to really aim up defensively.
Baxter there with a run. Five short of the halfway line here. And a sloppy play the ball. It's more than sloppy, it's a mistake at the play the ball.
Clock's on. Yeah.
And you alluded to it, the mistake was coming because there was some good defensive pressure there by the Indigenous team. So there is the error. Now it's the season we've all been anticipating. The NRL Telstra Women's Premiership kicks off in what's going to be an unreal year of Women's Rugby League. 3 new teams, the Knights, Titans and Eels, will join the Dragons, Roosters and Broncos in the most tightly contested competition yet, as the Indigenous side look to go on the attack. It all kicks off on February 27 with a triple header in Newcastle, followed by another triple header in Wollongong on March 6. Tickets are available from just $12 for adults, and juniors under 15 can redeem a free general admission ticket with any paying adult. It's going to be magnificent. Bring it on, the NRLW. There's an error. We went backwards, and doesn't matter anyway because Maori have pounced on it. And this will be a strip and a penalty, so they've compounded the error here, the Indigenous team.
Well, they need to be careful here because one thing I know, error, penalty, generally leads to points. So defensively, Indigenous really need to muscle up, as we've spoken about through that middle third in particular. They also need to ensure that they don't give Zahara Tamara too much time and space with that ball in her hand, because she will make them pay.
Corbin Baxter now off the tap. 8 metres into Indigenous territory. Go the Maori team. McGregor gets a pass away, and Maya Hill-Moana. 31 away from the line. Hill-Moana led the Harker earlier. Zahara Tamara, beautiful hands away. That was outstanding. Murdoch, she's tackled. 25 away. Upping the ante again here. The Maori team, but are they going to go into touch? They are. That's terrific defence. Great defence from the Indigenous side. Fuimaono was there. Tillett was there. And Phillips as well.
incredible from the Indigenous women, turning up for one another here to take them over the edge. But I like what the Maori women are doing here. They're asking questions both sides of the ruck. At different times we see Racine McGregor stick to the right side, but then she'll link up and give that quick ball to Sahara so she can attack that left edge. So plenty of questions being asked.
Rue's giving me dirty looks here because I left out the prop that got out wide too.
Thank you.
Caitlin Johnston was there also, leading the way.
Push up, second marker. All right, play the ball. Yeah. Go. No time.
Just under 10 minutes left in the second quarter of the first half.
Help! Release it! Here. Go. I need another step from you two here.
Just getting outside there, 20 now and beyond. It's Jamie Chapman. You don't want to give her any room. Wise decision though to cut back on the inside when the cover defence was moving across. More solid defence on that occasion. Short ball there from Tillett. Really taking control is Tallulah Tillett as far as being the key playmaker in this Indigenous team.
Well done, Tamika.
I knew it would have been a penalty if she took advantage of the obstruction. Betsy Welsh, very safe under the high ball and puts on a fence. Really enjoying seeing the two fullbacks in action. Key period of the game coming up. 8 minutes left in the half.
Well, this is where it's going to start to really count, Salty, because these players haven't had a lot of football in the last 8 months. Fatigue is going to be a factor, and that's when attention to detail and want and desire come into play.
Hilmawana. Strong charge. Here's the last. They go to Racine McGregor. McGregor puts in a kick. It's through Chapman for the corner. They go, and Upton comes across and saves the day for the Indigenous All-Stars team.
She read that brilliantly, Tamika Upton. She was a little bit tighter in, and as soon as that footy ricocheted after Racine McGregor put it on the toe, she was able to move across really quickly. Watch how quickly she gets there. Just follows the ball, holds up, and times it absolutely perfectly, depending on when and where that footy was going to bounce. She's a clever footy player.
She is, and it was very smart as well from Jamie Chapman not to play at that ball, because if she had, it could have ricocheted back towards the in goal where there was no Indigenous defenders coming through, and that could have spelled disaster. But they have a goal line restart now.
What about that corner post, Cam? Bring the action right into your living room at home.
Let her up. Bring it all the way to me. Oh, that's big. Go. One.
Daniel's playing it. Hilmawana making a real impact off the bench. Some good runs through the middle. Now Tamara goes here to Betsy Welsh. Passes to Raf Trent-Smith. Good tackle in the end. Fuameono, one of the defenders. Sahara Tamara, Racine McGregor, Koenig, and Chapman's now got it. Picks up the loose ball, up over the halfway line. There is no one gaining ground on Jamie Chapman. And against a run of play, the Indigenous All-Stars score the first try of the game. The first try in 2022 on 9. And the Indigenous side go in front.
Is there anything better than seeing a length of the field drive from your winger? The crowd stood up. The atmosphere is absolutely electric. The Maori women did well going from side to stride, stretching it out as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, but that pass just didn't stick. And Jamie Chapman reading that play perfectly in the right place at the right time. We've been speaking about it for the first part of this game. She's got plenty of pace, and how good was it to see her?
Oh, it certainly was. The way she just strides away. She looks so fluid when she runs. She makes it look effortless. She has these long, loping strides, but you could see her pulling away from the chasers. It was absolutely incredible. Corbin Baxter, unfortunately, the ball went just behind her, and McGregor didn't have the pace to keep up with her. But Jamie Chapman, look at the smile on her face. I think that says it all. Also, whew, time for a breather.
That smile. She knew she wasn't going to get caught from about the 40. Jamie Chapman, the try scorer. Dragons fans enjoy seeing that sight because Jamie Chapman plays for the Dragons. Dib with the conversion, makes no mistake. So the men's All-Stars on tonight. Looking forward to it. Always a terrific contest. You won't want to miss it right here on 9. Kick-off 7:30 in the southern states. Check your guides elsewhere. Plenty of feeling, plenty of passion, as it is with both of the games that we're seeing today. All-Stars day and night in the NRL. And the Indigenous team will enjoy scoring that try because they didn't bother the scorers last year, beaten 24-0. Now hitting the lead with just under 5 minutes left in the first half.
And I think they'll enjoy it even more as well, Salty, because they're under a ton of pressure defensively. And to come up with that against the run of play gives you a little bit of breathing space.
Oh, nice late offload there. Quincy Dodd has it for the Indigenous team. Oh, good defence there from Olivia Koenig. She's been really good defensively. In fact, just about every player on the field has been. It's been very good defensive play game from both teams. Plenty of feeling out there.
Well, that last try was a direct result of that defensive line pressure that the Indigenous women had to be able to get that ball back and apply that pressure.
So Maori have it now. That was a near thing too for Tillett on the short side. Almost came off.
Well, she went into the line twice. The first time she got absolutely pumped by the inside defender, and then she went for it again, and it might have just got the yips a little bit there because the pass went behind her, and now the Māori have the ball back 45 metres out from their own line. Can they hit back?
Well, Shannon Marto through the middle. Sherrington. A bit of footwork there as well too from Kennedy Sherrington. Couple of tackles left in the set. McGregor, good hands there. Now Koenig, 10 metres away from the line. Here's the last. McGregor with the kick. Oh, it's gone straight through and they'll score a try, will they?
I think she might have lost it.
Have Maori hit back. We're going to go to the bunker for the first time this season.
I think she's knocked it on. Alan?
Well, I'm not going to
no try. Can you please confirm that she's knocked it on in trying to pick it up? I have it played out by the Indigenous team first.
Not too much celebrating here from Kennedy Sherrington.
Well, she's onside there, Salty, which is a good start.
All Maori players are onside into play.
I think they'll try and judge whether this goes forward off Quincy Dodd's hands or whether it just shoots straight through.
We'll need to determine if there's a knock-on by the Indigenous player.
Well, it doesn't look it there, does it? We're having another look.
The ball goes backwards between the Indigenous players' legs, but playing on to this point.
So let's have a look here at the put down.
Kennedy Sherrington then knocks the ball on in the field of play. We have a decision.
Yeah, so we'll have a scrum out here. Where do you want the... Oh, sorry. All right, it's a knock on in the field by Maori team, so we'll have a scrum out here. Where do you
There we
want
go.
it?
They're going to have a scrum here for the Indigenous team. That was an
Alright, clock is
excellent
on.
play. Last tackle option, Racine McGregor just summed it up beautifully. Saw Tamika Upton was on the push out wide, kicked that ball back through. It was a wonderful chase. They just got their communication mixed up between her and Kennedy Charrington. But Janelle Williams came up with the tackle there that dislodged that ball. That's a great effort when you're tired.
In, break.
Now the Indigenous team just holding on. Was close there for Kennedy Charrington. Inside the last 3 minutes of the first half. If you're just tuning in, it's 4 15-minute quarters. Good defence there from Crystal Rotter. Oh, more solid defence. Gil Moana.
How incredible is it, Salty, that you have such a strong team that a player the ilk of Crystal Rota is on the bench?
Playing for the Knights in NRLW. There's a nice offload. A few offloads starting to come into play in the last few minutes. Last play here. Kick from Dib. Will find touch. That's a beautiful kick.
Did it just miss the 10? Wow. What a shame that just missed going out inside the 10-metre mark. Otherwise, the Indigenous team would have got that ball back.
Missed it by about a metre.
That was almost their only option that set, because the Maori women did a brilliant job at just smothering them and taking away all of those attacking opportunities.
So just over a minute left here in the first half. The Indigenous team are one good defensive set away from going into the sheds with a converted try lead, leading 6-0. Jamie Chapman's length of the field try. All that's separating both of these teams at the moment. Well, the Indigenous side won't want to switch off.
Leave her alone, Mo. Wait. Go, 3.
Because they've actually been very good at attacking from this area of the ground, the Maori team.
Hold. Go, 4.
Rotter going to dummy half. Zahara Tamara, here's Bette Welsh. This is like where they like attacking from. Bette Welsh looking for a runner. Finds Rafstrand Smith. They go out wide and score a magnificent try right on half-time. Autumn Rain Stevens with the try, and Maori do hit back right on half-time. That was great to watch.
Incredible. You spoke about them attacking from that part of the field. Salty, it's the time and space that they create for themselves, the depth in which they like attacking. Bette Welsh loves sweeping around the back out there with Zahara Tamara on the left edge, but they've got so much space. She's got that pace to burn as well, holds the footy up brilliantly. On the Harvey Norman replay we see here, and a nice little offload. The support play was brilliant. Couldn't have done it any better.
Well, particularly what I love about this is that Bo is able to swing both sides, and she's got a really great vision, especially of the backfield. She has a really great way of placing the defenders, and if her teammates push up with her, she'll be able to create opportunities with offloads like this if she does get caught. This is exactly what the Māori team needed, because defensively and through the middle they have been really, really strong. They needed to get a little bit of love from the hard work they've been doing and the grind that they've been doing. This is exactly what they needed.
Right on half-time. What a time to score a try.
It's going to be a tough conversion though, Salty.
In these
Very
conditions.
narrow, really narrow shot here from Tamara.
Well, we've seen her kick plenty of times. She'll get the distance. Certainly gives it a roost. Is it going to get there? And falls short. Well, I put the mock on it.
It's your fault.
So it's a 2-point lead for the Indigenous All-Stars at half-time. By the way, the try scorer, Autumn Rain Stevens, will be featuring for the Knights in NRLW. So 6-4 at the break. The Indigenous All-Stars leading the Maori All-Stars. And we've got the second half action coming up in the Women's All-Stars game where the Indigenous team have a 2-point lead at halftime. The third quarter getting underway. Zahara Tamara, the short kickoff. She'll regather here.
Oh, how good.
That is brilliant. Zahara Tamara.
That's a fair statement to make to kick off the second half.
Oh, you love to see it.
Just shows the confidence that they went into halftime with, those Maori women, after that late try, to come out and back themselves and to do that and be on the front foot and attacking now.
And they're attacking through Shannon Marteau, who's been strong. They've got numbers out to the right. Which way will they go? They go to the left. Zahara Tamara. Nice ball. Rafstrand Smith will be tackled. It's the last. The Indigenous side defensively have been strong. Here's a kick from Tamara, aiming for the post. And it will be too deep. And they'll come out to the 20.
She would have liked for that one to sit up just a little bit. But again, great vision, aiming for the posts. She put it into the perfect space. Just a little bit too much toe on that one from Zahara.
So the Indigenous side holding on, and now they'll get a penalty as well for a crusher. So a crusher tackle there on Tamika Upton. Here is a replay of the crusher tackle.
She must have just been caught in an awkward spot there by the player underneath. But I did actually, Salty, on the way up, run into the coaching staff of the New Zealand Māori, and they want to continue with what they're doing. Go with that power game, continue to push through the middle, and then play the space off the edges. The space will come if they can really dominate that middle third. From the horse's mouth, Lisa Fiola, the goat herself.
They're doing it well so far. Still trailing by 2. It's the Indigenous side in front. 1 try apiece, and boy, both tries have been outstanding. Here goes Caitlin Johnston. She's been terrific.
Her energy in both attack and defence in today's game has just been enormous. She's one of their captains and has really been leading from the front. Caitlin Johnston having a huge game.
And there's the co-captain going for a run in Quincy Dodd. Good field position here for the Indigenous team. Sarah Fields tackled 29 away, right in centre field. Tillett, Power. Now Peters with a step and a sprint, and will be tackled 5 away from the line. What an opportunity this is. Tillett's going to get into dummy half. Goes to Dibb, now Upton, long pass, and it's a beauty to Chapman, who's in for her second try. The Indigenous team's second try, and they go further in front.
Well, it's something we haven't seen too often from these Maori women, is actually just standing back in defence and letting the Indigenous women run at them, and they certainly did it in those last couple of tackles, as we see here on the Harvey Norman replay. Tillett in at dummy half. Tamika Upton takes the ball to the line and throws a beautiful cutout to Jamie Chapman out there on the left wing. They played it brilliantly. They had the defence hanging off them, and they attacked the space.
In particular, the setup for this try was what impressed me the most. Jasmine Peters ran hard, ran a hard down line, drew in 2 and 3 defenders from the inside. So what they actually did was shorten that line out to the right-hand side defensively for the Māori, and that is where the Indigenous team went and attacked. Some beautiful long passes and some beautiful down lines run by support players, which actually held up the defensive line from pushing out and checking and releasing. And the last pass there, oh, it was right on the edge there by Tamika Upton, but right on the edge still counts, and a great finish. Jamie Chapman, her nickname's Olive Oil, but honestly, she is lightning.
Olive Oil, the nickname.
Olive Oil. She looks like a blonde olive oil. We played with her at the Sharks. That's when we gave her the nickname.
Okay. Were you in charge of handing out nicknames, Roo?
Oh, potentially.
And there's the attempted conversion, successful. Great kick, and an important one as well. An 8-point lead now for the Indigenous team. They're leading by 12 points to 4. Now, what a big year we are in for. It all starts today with the All-Stars, and don't forget the 2022 NRL season live and free on 9. Can the Panthers defend their title? Will there be some other challenges emerge? Those that missed the 8 last year, will they look to charge up the table? The likes of the Bulldogs and the Broncos. There's the Titans there. They made the 8 last year, but went out in disappointing fashion. What a season.
Oh, there's been some great player movement in the off-season too. The Broncos have bought well. It's going to look, oh, it's exciting.
It is exciting. Can't wait for it. 9, your home of rugby league for 2022 and beyond.
Stay on side.
Being entertained by some great action here at Combank Stadium this afternoon. Strong charge. Again, Caitlin Johnston with another magnificent run. And just look at the confidence that that try has given the Indigenous team. They're on the back foot from the start of the second half. Now they're regaining that ascendancy that they had midway through the first half. And 2 hit-ups in the set for Johnston. There's a good tackle. Although getting out of it there was Fields. Tillett. Yep, Power. Oh, the pass it was on. There was a bit of room out wide, but just went in front of the winger, Revel Blair. And don't forget as well too, later on this evening, we've got the men's All-Stars. We've got the women's All-Stars on now. The second half just getting underway, and the men's All-Stars live, 7:30 local time. Big crowd in attendance. Expecting a great night of entertainment.
No, we need to touch. Play the ball.
Now the restart's a little bit slow here because it is quite heavy, the ground down there. It's been raining for a fair bit the last few days, so the ground is getting a little heavy underfoot, and some of these players haven't played footy for 8 months. So the quality that we've seen, considering the very limited football that they've had, has been pretty good.
Impressive, particularly some of the back-to-back efforts. We saw their captain, Caitlin Johnson, taking that first hit up and then getting in for the third. It's those extra efforts by some of these women that are just going the extra mile for both of the sides.
There's a good run from Roxy Murdoch. And now they're 20 metres away here, the Maori team. Just off centre field, options both sides as they go on the attack. Racine McGregor throwing the dummy, but not fallen for. The Indigenous defence up to it. And Sarah Field again getting through a mountain of work in defence, coming off the bench in jersey number 14. Zahara Tamara with a kick. Oh, that's a fantastic take. Outstanding out wide by Rhiannon Revel Blair.
Well, since that second try, there's some really positive footy coming out of the Indigenous team. Revel Blair just attacking that football here. We're seeing Shania Power really push through those gaps. And Caitlin Johnson, as Alana spoke about before, coming up with a couple of different efforts. That's going to lift your team coming towards the back end of this game.
They're on to Caitlin Johnson quickly that time. And yeah, I'm going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a penalty. Heard the call of held, and then they put Johnston on her back. And that was late in the tackle count as well. So here's the Indigenous team on the sideline. We'll see them in action later on this evening. I wonder what David Fafita's listening to there on the headphones. I'm tipping it wouldn't be the same music you listen to, Roo.
What do you mean? He doesn't like Metallica?
No, I don't think it would be. Good field position here for the Indigenous team. Kira Simon. Well, it's good that she was able to come back out on the field because went off earlier with a head knock. Here's Caitlin Johnston. Quincy Dodd going here to Tillett. Upton looking to chime in. Did well to hold on to the ball. Still going to Mika Upton. Good tackle. Zahara Tamara down low. Now, Johnston goes to Field. That is a good shot on Sarah Field. More strong defence.
Great defence by the Māori, but they are caught short on this right edge defensively, but there's some more good defence coming from the outside in to shut that down.
Phillips now 8 away from the line. Here's the last. They go down that far side to Chapman again, looking for try number 3, and is going to be bundled into touch.
Play the ball. Where do you want to play the ball?
It will be a changeover.
Corbin, where do you want to
Looking
play the ball?
for a hat trick there. I think this
here.
game, even though the scoreboard says otherwise, is still well and truly in the balance. We've got plenty of time. Both teams are still turning up for one another in defence. But I think the side that maintains that defensive pressure, and as we see a little bit more of fatigue creep into the game, ball security and possession are really going to be key. So there's still a huge opportunity for the Maori women to come back here. Plenty of time to go.
Stand up square. Wait. Go. 1.
Very good completion rates, given the conditions from both teams, as we just saw on the screen, and the mistakes that we've seen have been forced through defence.
Hold. Go 2.
Not that there's been too many. Shannon Mato.
Wait. Go. 3.
Sahara Tamara linking up again through the middle of the ground. It's where they've done a lot of their damage. Tamara again. Corbin Baxter. They was screaming for it on the outside, but Corbin went on her own. Kick from Racine McGregor. It's a wobbly one. Purple Blair met there by the Maori chasers. Just under 5 minutes left in the third quarter. 4 15-minute quarters. Tamika Upton playing it. There's a good run out of dummy half, and the Indigenous All-Stars going into Maori territory. Caitlin Johnston, that was a good tackle down low. And Kennedy Cherrington. Dib goes to Law. It was forward. The pass was forward to Bobby Law. Terrific athlete is Bobby Law. Playing for Newcastle. Her dad, Simon Law, a professional surfer.
Remember, you're on the clock.
Former professional surfer.
Make sure you've got
Well,
a lock.
Bobby is
You're
an
on the
excellent
clock as
player,
well.
and you know what I love
Come on, you're
most
on the
about her,
clock.
besides the fact that she runs hard and tackles hard? Her nickname's Robert.
Get your head down. Clock off. Speed.
Robert.
Robert.
Get inside of there, lock.
You didn't give her that one, did you?
No, I didn't. But here we're watching the Māori come back at them with a midfield scrum. Now, the previous play, just before, as we see another penalty here. She's working around the clock here, so they'll go for the sideline, create a little bit of space, I would imagine. But previously, before they kicked the ball to the Indigenous, they had an opportunity. That last tackle, if they just had a little bit of a look, it was 3-on-1 on that short side down the right. Hopefully, next time, if they get into this position, they can just play a little bit of, get those eyes up, scan, and just have a look at where those opportunities are.
So basically, Roo, in Women's Rugby League, any ordinary nickname we hear, you gave it to them. Is that right?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not. Rick Stone gave her that one, but I ran with it because I thought it was funny.
Big moment of the game here for the Maori All-Stars. Under 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They're trailing by 8, 20 metres away from the Indigenous team. Here's
Arms out. To your line. To your
Maynard
line.
now,
Go. 3.
a dummy half. Zahara Tamara, Vete Welsh held up the pass beautifully. And that's going to be a try to Autumn Rain Stevens. Out wide, Maori do hit back. Great pass, great try.
It was a fantastic effort by the Māori team. They got the ball just over halfway and worked their way all the way down. As we see here on the Harvey Norman replay, some great running in there by Zahara Tamara, drew the defence. Her lead runner ran with her, also drew in that outside defenders, and some lovely hands to the outside. Beautifully, beautifully. Here we see Zahara Tamara running through, Bo Vete Welsh with a double pump, and Stevens Daly comes up with the 4-pointer. They really needed that, didn't they, Fergo?
They did, and I think what gave them these opportunities, Roo, is the depth in which they were set up. We saw the Indigenous women throw in a forward pass in the last attacking set that they had. They were set up a little bit too flat, but the Maori women are setting that little bit deeper, giving themselves the time, and then really straightening up and taking on those defenders, forcing them to commit, to make those one-on-one tackles and find those little bit of spaces on the edges.
Yeah, and especially when they're in that 10, 15, 20 metre mark. That's where the depth really needs to come into play so that they can just draw and move the defensive line around.
So here's its attempted conversion by Zahara Tamara from out wide. A metre in from touch. Missed from this exact angle in the first half. Strikes that one. Okay, well, had the direction right, but didn't strike it enough. 4-point lead for the Indigenous All-Stars, and NRLW is just around the corner. Bring it on. February 27, we'll have a triple header in Newcastle, followed by another triple header in Wollongong on March 6. 3 new teams, the Knights, Titans and Eels, joining the Dragons, Roosters and the Broncos. Can the Broncos be dethroned in the 2022 NRLW season? We'll find out when it all gets underway. Live and free on 9 from February 27.
You know what I heard, Saltsy? Parramatta Eels have sold out of all of their women's jerseys.
Brilliant.
Sold out. How good is that?
That's brilliant. Plenty of interest with the new teams and the existing teams as well, as we're seeing some more great defence here from the Indigenous team. 20 seconds left in the third quarter, and what a great final quarter we are in for with the game in the balance.
She was already held.
So a penalty here.
It's another leg out of trouble here, Saltsy. They've just worked her over in the tackle a little bit, giving an easy 15 metres there for Tamara to make up. This is particularly, as Alana spoke about and you alluded to as well, this is where the Māori team like to attack from. They like to attack with that little bit of real estate behind the defensive line.
Well, here we go. One play for the Maori side. Rafstrand Smith taps it. Goes to Ronna Peters. Zahara Tamara puts in a kick. Can they get a bounce? They do get a bounce through Baxter. She gets a pass away. It'll be miraculous. Still keeping it alive. It's still out the back, and eventually the Indigenous team clean up. What an end to the third quarter. Outstanding entertainment.
I'm sorry, is this the Harlem Globetrotters?
That was great. And at three-quarter time, the Indigenous All-Stars lead the Maori All-Stars 12 points to 8.
Can we just get everyone in our positions? I don't want no prop outside of this tram line. We're making it very hard for ourselves to set up for that next play. So get where you're supposed to be and fucking run hard, okay? So we can play off that shit. 15 minutes away.
Well, there we go inside the Maori huddle. Zahara Tamara doing a lot of talking there. We might talk about that in just a moment. There's beautiful shots of CommBank Stadium. Parramatta, 1 quarter to go and the game in the balance.
What? Talk about the fact that she just told the props not to be running out wide. I'll talk about because I believe that as well. We should not be running out wide.
I was going to say it's another string to her. It's another string to her bow. Very quiet when she first came on the scene. Short kick off. And this time, the Indigenous team are able to clean up. Yeah, she's really turned herself into a real leader in the game.
She has. She's developed into quite a vociferous type of player. A lot of people think that she's very quiet and very withdrawn, but on the field, she is not. She's told me a few times as well, you got wrong.
So 4-point lead for the Indigenous All-Stars. Can they hang on and to square the ledger? Because it's 2-1 head-to-head in favour of Maori over the years. Last year, it was the Maori team that won 24 points to 0.
Clever little kick from Tillett here. What are we thinking? She's come up with a couple of brilliant ones.
This time she goes to the air.
I like it.
And here come the chasers.
Great pressure.
And it's going to be knocked back. Is that the call, or knock on originally from the Indigenous team?
Well, not a tricky kick, Fergo, but a perfectly placed, perfectly weighted kick, knowing that her outside attackers would be chasing through and putting the pressure on her. And now they've forced an error, 10 metres out, right in the midfield. This is going to be great. This is where we're probably going to see a bit of razzle-dazzle from Tillett.
It was Autumn Rain Stevens under a heap of pressure, made the mistake, and the Indigenous All-Stars do get the scrum feed. ruled to have knocked on first. It was a knock on both ways. The Indigenous team through Tillett. They feed the scrum and taking it out the back of the scrum. She had to run around and grab it. It wasn't part of the set move.
Stand up square.
Field the dummy half. Dib playing it. 5 metres away. There's an offload. And through the hands again. The Indigenous All-Stars are going to get there and score a try to go further in front. Outstanding work. The try is scored from Kelly Signs. Just too much strength and power.
Well, pure determination there to get over the line, but I think a couple of those defenders' eyes were on Tillett out the back. She had her hand up and pointing to her outside backs about what was going to be happening next, and they just didn't tighten up enough in the middle of the field. You see these spaces creep open, and just that direct footy, that's exactly what's working close to the line, and a brilliant run to go over there.
She just got that ball and was not going to be denied. Look at that. Just drove herself over, 4 of them hanging off her, and she loved it. Look at that, slapped the floor, gets excited about it. This is just beautiful footy. Really simple, really direct, and it gets the job done when you're that close to the line.
This will be her home ground in NRLW, playing for Parramatta. Second game in the Indigenous All-Stars.
Well, we quickly touched on Para before. They've done some really great recruiting in the off-season, and I mentioned that they've sold out of their jerseys, and Dave Middleton, sitting next to me, says they have sold all of their sponsorship before a ball has been kicked. That's fantastic.
Certainly is. So Dib with the conversion. And the Indigenous All-Stars taking a real stranglehold on this game, out to a 10-point lead. 18 points to 8. The NRL season not all that far away. Live and free on 9. Can't wait for it to arrive. So much rugby league on the screens of 9 throughout 2022. We saw a great season last year. Panthers for the Premiers. What will happen in 2022? Well, we're about to find out.
Stay on.
And go on that wild 6-month ride. Speaking of wild, I think we've got a wild 11 and a half minutes left here. The Māori All-Stars will not die wondering. They need 2 converted tries. 18 points to 8. Indigenous team in front. Nine metres into Maori territory, the Indigenous team.
And for the first time this game, Salty, we're seeing a few little cracks show through the middle for the Māori team. The Indigenous players are running with some real intent and causing some issues with those inside defenders.
Well, there's a tackle that had to be made by Rafstrand Smith. He was on Shaley Bent. Here's Dib with a kick. Kicking for Chapman. She's got 2 tries. Oh! What a take! Can she crawl over the line? Going to be short. Oh, my goodness.
Kira Dib, what a kick.
It was last tackle,
And it was the last. It'll be a changeover.
I bet she wished it had been raining just a little bit longer so she could have slid those last 3 metres across the line. Chapo with the take. That was a great kick by Dib, but equally, you could see Chapo running with her eyes in the air, did not pay any attention to the defender, was going for the ball the whole time. As we're going to watch this on replay, this is great, great footy. Come on, slide. Oh, Corbin Baxter coming through with the tackle too. That had to be made.
Well, here's some strong defence. They're going to be forced back in goal. No. Stays in the field of play. Vete Welsh. How often you see her drag back like that? They need to find something here, the Maori side. 10 minutes remaining. And what's been a magnificent game so far. We're in for a grandstand finish. 10 points the margin.
Well, it's all about field position at this point in time. We don't have long to go in the game. The scoreboards are separating a little bit from both sides, and the defensive pressure from the Indigenous women is brilliant. Very different look of these Maori women as to how they started the game. Their biggest strength was in that middle third. They were rolling through. But the defensive pressure and the line speed from the Indigenous women's been really impressive.
Here's Vete Welsh calling for the ball down the short side. Going to be tackled, and it was the last. It's a changeover.
Well, uncharacteristically, a couple of senior players there get caught on the last with the ball. Nita Maynard shot down that short side, used Bo Vete Welsh, and I don't think anyone told them that it was the last tackle. So Indigenous get the ball back in some really good field position, and like the Māori, they like to attack from this part of the field. They like having that little bit of space behind them, as we've seen with a couple of the kicks that have gone through.
Yeah, I'd be keeping your eye on Tamika Upton, just having a little bit of a look around at the space and just when exactly she's going to pounce could be exciting.
So as you mentioned her name, Alana, I was looking in back play, doing a lot of finger pointing is Tamika Upton.
Yeah, she's
scheming.
ready to go.
Here's Dib. Going here to Joseph.
She does like sitting just inside or just outside Tillett's shoulder. It's been a common theme.
That's where she is now. Tillett's got it. Goes to Upton on the outside. Fires a pass out wide. Going for the corner. Oh, great tackle. Bobby Law going for the corner. Zahara Tamara coming across. She might have hurt her shoulder here, or she caught one around the face.
I think it was around
but either
the
way,
face.
it's good defence from Zahara Tamara.
It certainly was, and we spoke about how Tamika Upton likes to sit in that pocket, either inside or outside first receiver, and that is why, because they can run that little block play on a short side, they can come up with the 3-on-2 or the 2-on-1 down there, but Zahara was up for the task. This was a really, really good tackle on a strong ball runner, and it had to be a ball and all, and they had teammates at the Roosters, so she knows just how dangerous she can be.
Bobby Law nearly scoring a try that had sealed the game for the Indigenous team. 7.5 minutes remaining.
And Quincy Dodd's back on the field too, so have a look. If there's some really tired middle defenders or close to the line, that's where she'll come into her own.
Look there at the tackle count. They've done nearly 20 more tackles, the Indigenous team, so their defence has been terrific. Shannon Marto playing it. Now they're tackled 5 short of halfway. Appealing for a penalty. There was Nita Maynard. Zahara Tamara with a kick straight down the throat here of Tamika Upton. Looking for just half an opening. It's all she needs. Good defence on Tamika Upton, and she's throwing the head back.
That ankle, she's kind of flexing there, Salty, the left one.
Got straight to her feet. And there's some good defence. It's forced an error. So Ronna Peters was in there.
Where do you want it? Middle, scrum in the middle.
Shannon Marto as well. Is that a moment for the Maori All-Stars team?
Well, there's only 6 minutes to go, but there's only 10 points in it, and we know that this Māori team has a lot of strike power. Fergo, what do you think?
I think there's absolutely time, and again, it's just off the back of the pressure that they can cause in defence. A lot of these attacking opportunities and field position have been off the back of defensive pressure and possession, and they absolutely can do it because there's plenty of space and more than enough strike weapons out there for the Maori women.
That wasn't a good sight seeing Tamaya Kelly Signs being helped from the fields from the Indigenous All-Stars team. Just under 6 minutes remaining. They need to score here, the Maori team. Shannon Marto, 18 away, just off centre. Maynard goes here to Zahara Tamara. Vete Welsh gets a pass away. And Edwards Bruce will be tackled 10 away from the line. Maynard, Ronna Peters throws a dummy. Going to be tackled.
Yeah.
This is a penalty.
Contact, dangerous.
Dangerous tackle.
The old cannonball tackle, straight at the bottom legs. Oof.
So they'll tap and go here. Under 5 remaining. Peters is tackled. Shaylee Bent, one of the defenders. Coming on after that one was Shannon Marto. And has forced an error.
Ooh.
Lost ball.
Do you want to? Do you want to challenge?
Just waiting here.
Challenge.
It will be a captain's challenge.
First of the game.
Yes.
Alan, captain's challenge from Māori, challenging the decision of lost ball.
It did come out with a bit of speed. That's why I thought there might have been a hand in there. And I think we're about to see it overturned.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
The two players in the tackle. Caitlin Johnson strips the ball out. The challenge is successful.
Naughty, naughty.
So this will be a penalty and a good captain's challenge. 4.5 minutes remaining.
Wait.
They tap and go. Here's Marto going for the line on her own. He's going to be stopped about a metre away. Although still with some movement. She'll get up now and play it. They need to score right now. Trailing by 10. Vete Welsh going on her own and is going to be stopped. Their opposite number, Tamika Upland, doing a great job defensively. Still here for Māori. Maynard, Zahara Tamara doing really well in traffic, keeping the ball alive. Runner Peters gets a pass away to Marto. Back towards the post she goes. There's numbers to the right if they go that way. Big numbers. McGregor gets a pass away and they're going to be tackled. 2 metres short of the line. 2 tackles left in the set. 3.5 minutes left in the match. Is this the try coming? No, it's not. They're a metre short. Last tackle for the Māori All-Stars. And the Indigenous All-Stars take a bow. They've hung on. They've got the ball. That's great defence. Caitlin Johnston first on the loose ball. And now with 3 minutes remaining and a 10-point lead, you'd think time has certainly run out for the Māori side.
What an incredibly gutsy defensive effort by the Indigenous side. Everybody turned up for it. The Māori girls, they looked a little bit tired towards the end, just one-out shots, but the Indigenous team were up for it.
A couple of short passes there from a team trying to protect the lead with 2.5 minutes left. Tamika Upton back to Caitlin Johnston. So well done to Indigenous All-Stars coach Ben Jeffries and his coaching staff. That kick, oh, I was about to say we'll go out on the full, but it won't go out on the full. It's a great kick in the end from Kira Dibb.
No, it certainly was. It was a beautifully weighted kick. She's done really well through general play, Kira, with her kicking tonight. I think she's let Tallulah Tillett come up with some really good gutsy play. She's given her the time and space to be a little bit creative. And Kira is just going, all right, well, I'll just march us around the field and I'll get us into the position that you need to. But she can't do that unless her forwards are doing the work that they have been. And it has been a physical, brutal battle. And like we've spoken about a few times, they haven't played for 8 months. To come out with this level of competition, this is awesome.
It's been fantastic. So we were just mentioning Ben Jeffries, the coach of the Indigenous All-Stars team. He will be coaching the PNG Orchids in the World Cup at the end of the year. 18 points to 8. The Indigenous team leading. And here is the Māori side, 30 metres away from the line, looking for a late try. It's been a terrific contest, some terrific action right from the outset. Defensively, both teams have been outstanding. Here's Zahara Tamara. Inside pass there to Vete Welsh, and she's going to be wrapped up. And the Indigenous defence has been terrific right throughout the contest. They'll be able to see it out here. The first of 2 terrific games that we've got for you on 9 tonight. And it looks like it's going to be first blood for the Indigenous All-Stars over the Māori All-Stars with 30 seconds remaining. I think we'll see a lot of these players in action in a fortnight's time, February 27 for NRLW live and free on 9. A series of triple headers that we'll have for you. And tonight the men's All-Stars game will be on 9 on Channel 9, 7:30 local time. As the siren sounds, this is the last play of the game. Full time, and well done to the Indigenous All-Stars, defeating the Māori All-Stars in a great contest, a great celebration of two cultures in a great game of rugby league. The Indigenous All-Stars have defeated the Māori All-Stars by 18 points to 8. Now the celebrations out on the field for the Indigenous All-Stars team. They love that one. Number of experienced campaigners in the side. And a few experiencing their first Indigenous All-Stars game and their first win. Tamika Upton, one of those, on debut for the Indigenous All-Stars. She was magnificent. What a game we've seen. Full time. The Indigenous All-Stars, they can celebrate 10-point victors over Māori.
Welcome back to Combank Stadium, where the Indigenous All-Stars are celebrating an impressive 18-8 victory over the Māori team. It is now time to hand it over to Brooke Boney, who's on stage for the presentation.
Well, what an incredible display of women's rugby league we just saw. A fantastic match between the Indigenous All-Stars and the Māori All-Stars as well. Thank you once again to Harvey Norman and the NRL. I would now like to welcome to the stage the CEO of NRL, Andrew Abdo, and Katrina Fanning, Australian Rugby League Indigenous Council Chair. Now, it is time to announce the Trish Heiner Player of the Match. The winner from the Indigenous All-Stars is Jamie Chapman.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the fans, our family, our mob who've come out to support. I hope we made you all proud, and I'd like to thank the Maoris for giving us a good game today. You really played it tough, and I'm proud of all of us. So we'll go home and celebrate tonight and be proud with what our game came out to be.
Two deadly sis. Unfortunately for the Māori side, they couldn't quite get it over the line tonight, but they were gutsy in defeat. To say a few words, please welcome to the stage their captain, Corbin Baxter.
Firstly, I'd like to pay tribute to the traditional costumes of the land, those past, present and emerging. What a game, what a week. It was such an awesome way to celebrate two beautiful cultures, both Māori and Indigenous, and we lapped up every second of it. This moment here is more than just a game. We get to celebrate our heritage, our culture, and I just want to congratulate the Indigenous girls on one hell of a match. You girls came out roaring and full of fire, and it was a real grind for that first half, and you guys are just too good today. So congratulations, Quincy, Caitlin and your team on an awesome win. To my Māori sisters, I love you guys. This is such a special week that I get to connect with you all and that we can dive deep into our cultural roots, and I've loved every moment with you girls. We dug hard today, but as I said, more than just a game, we did our culture and our families proud. So thank you for an awesome week and putting your all in today. Thank you. Thank you to the fans for coming up and supporting Women's Rugby League. It means the world to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Corbin. Now, please welcome to the stage from the Indigenous All-Stars, their co-captain, Caitlin Johnston.
Get you. First of all, I just want to acknowledge the land that we're on today, to the Darug people, to pay my respect to my elders past, present and emerging. I just want to thank the Māori girls. They put on a mean show and, they gave their best and just kept fighting to the end. And, couldn't be thankful for the show they provided for us girls. To our girls, I couldn't be more prouder. Very young to co-captain with Quint, so for us to take the win, it means a lot. Words can't really describe what it feels like. And we just want to also thank our sponsors, Kari, Harvey Norman and the AES. This wouldn't be provided if it wasn't for them guys, and we just can't be more thankful for everything they've done behind the scenes. So thank you guys.
Big round of applause for you, Caitlin. And now can I please welcome Quincy Dodd as well to collect the Fanning Murphy Trophy from Katrina Fanning.